Whew, sorry guys, it's been a really busy day. I forgot I even had one scheduled for today. Good Lord, I gotta look at this. Let's see what we're talking about. Maybe we're talking about AJ Styles again. John Cena might be a good one to talk about. Maybe we're talking about... We're talking about me? My mouse is so messy, but it works so much. I'm not going to clean that up. Oh my God. Ah! I gotta look at it again. Okay. So, looks like we're going to be talking about me from a wrestling standpoint. We're going to talk about me from a wrestling standpoint, and yeah. I also pinned down, man. Let's get the show on the road. I'm so happy right now because we're talking about me. It's about time I get my credit, my just dues. But before we do that, I gotta go into the intro, so excuse me. Yeah, come here. Welcome to the greatest podcast not in America. Welcome to the greatest podcast not in the world. Welcome to the great podcast in the universe. I'm your host with the most, Chris of the most, that's Penn, and you, my friend, are watching The Pin Down, which is a show ran by me, and we're talking about me. Isn't that a coincidence? But before we get on to me, let's pay tribute to somebody who's very important in the reason we're talking about me. Me, bitches. That's right. Look at this face. Look at this handsome son of a bitch right here. Gorgeous. Now, is this an old picture? Maybe it is. Mind your business. But seriously, sorry. Enough with the jokes. I kind of thought it would be kind of cool to do an episode where, I give you guys, like top 5 stuff of me. So, we're going to go into the past. We're not going to go present. We do present. We're going to be here for a long time. But I thought I might, or you guys would like past Jeffrey and how I got into wrestling. Who were the first people I see? Who are my favorite wrestlers kind of growing up? And, some of the answers are weird. So mind you, but let's go ahead and get started. So, first wrestler I can remember seeing, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's Umaga. I want to say Umaga was the first one. Now, don't quote me now because when I first got into wrestling, my parents had their friends over, and their friends had a son and a daughter, and the son was very, very interested in wrestling. So he asked if we could watch wrestling, and I'm pretty sure Umaga was the first person I saw, whether it was an advertisement even. And then next was Super Crazy, which if you weren't a fan of, let's say, like ECW, WWE's ECW, you probably kind of don't know. And unless you're a fan of the lucha scene in Mexico and go all the way back, you probably don't know him either. And the third person I remember saying, now, again, don't quote me on this because it's been such a long time. I want to say back in like 2006 or 2007 even. Bobby Lashley. I want to say it was either Bobby Lashley or Chris Masters. But for the sake of just deciding, I went ahead and picked Bobby Lashley because I'm pretty sure that's who it was. And it was a young, Bobby Lashley. So, this mountain of man. Now we're moving on to the next question. What was the first wrestling show I remember watching? ECW. And that, we're not talking vintage ECW. We're talking WWE's ECW, which I'm gonna keep it a buck, wasn't really that good. And also, I just want to talk about this god-awful championship. When I tell you, this is probably one of my least favorite championship designs. Same with the 24/7 title, but God, like I hate this, and it's the fact that it's like the big belt, like it's a belt you'll want to win. I would be if I was at ECW, I would be the wrestler who would like win, who would beat the champion, and then when they try to hand me the belt, I'd be like, nah, like nah, like I'm good. I bought my own. Like I just can't, man. Like just oh my god, the belt is so trash. But back to stop trashing the belt in the WWE's property. The same friend, the same son of my parents' friend. I'm willing to bet money that it was ECW he put on, and then, it was a 2-hour show, so we were watching it. I just remember like my parents is coming like, oh my gosh, like look at that, that's so barbaric. So not really my parents, but like like not from like a we don't respect the people. They're just like, oh, like this is so crazy. I can't believe people actually do this. I remember like my dad, everyone would be like, oh, like he's on steroids. He's on steroids. He's on steroids. So like it's just it was usually the normal critiques, but man, I was like kind of amazed as a kid, just looking like people go through tables, jump off ladders, and like do all stuff. I was like, this is crazy. And they're going to do it, like, and they just get right back up to you. Like, it still blows my mind to this day. But next question. So, who was Kid Jeffrey's favorite wrestlers at the time, or around, a little bit after that time? So, sorry, wow, I was not expecting to come back to me. Go back to the screen. Go back to the screen. So, first wrestler I can kind of remember me being a really big fan of, Edge. So with Edge, it's kind of crazy because I did not like Edge as a kid. I remember like back in 2006, 2007 when like I kind of started lightly getting into wrestling. If you go back and watch the first episode, I didn't get really into wrestling until 2013. But I remember calling him the rated R stupid star, and God, I just wish I could take it all back because dude is so freaking amazing. Just in the ring, he seems really cool as a person. But yeah, big Edge head, especially around like 2010, 2011. Loved Edge. I thought Edge was like one of the greatest wrestlers out there. And then here's another. This might surprise you, but I was a little kid, so maybe not. And this is probably you guys' favorite wrestler. One of your guys' favorite wrestlers as a kid too. We got John Morrison, ladies and gentlemen. So I love John Morrison mainly because I didn't know what the hell parkour was. And so I just thought it was pretty cool if he could do like flip all over people, do all these cool kicks, looking like he came straight out of a Jackie Chan movie. So I always thought it was dope. And I forgot to upload the picture here, and it'll just be a lot of work just to restart the video. I feel like I got a lot of good original content. But John Cena, definitely. And let's just be honest, that was like every kid's favorite wrestler. If you were a fan and you were a kid around that time here, you love Super Cena. Like Cena was just the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody their mamas love Cena. All right. So we're gonna move on to the last two questions. So Jeffrey, you might say, sorry, Dez. Jeffrey's my government name. You call me Dez. Don't call me Jeffrey. Just kidding. But what was your first pay-per-view you watched fully? And kind of wish I could give you guys a better one, but yeah, it was Elimination Chamber back in 2015. And again, kind of how it came about was I didn't have a job at that time. I was 15, and I was trying to get a job, but I just didn't. So I remember my sister. I have I'm the youngest of four, so I had two older sisters and one older brother. So my oldest sister, she had a job. So I know, you could get free trials and stuff. So I was like, hey, Drea, let me borrow your card so I can put the information in and get a free trial. And of course, my sister's like kind of skeptical. I was like, no, like I promise, like I'll get rid of it after, like after I use a free trial. So she let me. And this was the next pay-per-view coming up. So I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of remember having a good time, I guess, for the most part. Like the Elimination Chamber tag match and Intercontinental Elimination Chamber match was pretty all right. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, there's nothing too special. Like, I remember wanting Dolph Ziggler to win the IC title, but then when Ryback did, I wasn't really too mad about it either. I liked Ryback, and I remember wanting what they call it. I almost called them the Street Profits. Oh my god. Titus O'Neil and Primetime Players. Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. I really wanted them because I was a big fan of Primetime Players around that time, and I was happy that they won it at the next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, if I'm not mistaken. But I also remember a big part of it that was kind of shocking was Kevin Owens beating John Cena clean. I remember that was like a big moment because when he hit the powerbomb, I was like, oh, okay, John's going to kick out him with an AA. And I was like, oh, like, wow, this random dude that I didn't realize he was Kevin Steen. I didn't know all I know now, but I was like, this random dude that like no one really gives a damn about ever just beat John Cena clean. But of course, I see like the big extremes of it, of course, and I want to say brevity, if that is the correct word of it. At the time, it was kind of cool, and it definitely did make him a big name player from that point on, as you can kind of see now with him in the current WWE product. And now we're moving on to the last question, which is Dez, again, because you can't call me Jeff. What is your first WrestleMania that you watched like fully through? And again, I wish I had a better answer for you guys, even though I'm not really too ashamed of this one, but it was WrestleMania 32 at the AT&T Stadium. If you remember, The Rock was a host. Kind of like a loose host. He didn't really do much. He set a record for a match, and then John Cena came out and helped him. But he didn't. It wasn't like a host. Like, he wasn't there around the whole time. I think he just came out one time back in January before the Royal Rumble, announced he was a host, and then we didn't see him until WrestleMania. But again, same predicament. I was still looking for a job, didn't have a job yet. So I think my brother might have been older than me. So either I borrowed, he is older. Not might have, he is older than me, but I think he had a job and a card and everything. So I think I used his card, or maybe I convinced my dad to let me use his card, or my other sister. But same thing. I was like, I'll cancel after 30-day trial. And I just want to watch WrestleMania. And I remember it being pretty fun, especially for, my first WrestleMania experience. The only kind of bummer was I was by myself, because I'm like the only pro wrestling fan in my family and the only pro wrestling fan I know. Like, my siblings every now and then they'll like kind of get interested in it, and I think they'll do it for me, so they know I don't feel so alone. And same with my girlfriend. But like at the end of the day, like, how you can kind of tell they're only doing it just to like do a good deed. Kind of, yeah, exactly. But I remember like probably the biggest thing I popped for was Zack Ryder winning the IC title. I remember being super stoked that he won the IC title. I was just so happy. I thought it was long overdue that he got like a big spotlight like that on him. But then the bastard lost it like the next day, like to Miz. But here's the thing: I was kind of pissed off at the time, but bro, that led to Miz cutting that absolutely glorious promo and talking smack. Yeah. Y'all know the promo I'm talking about. But overall, it was a good match for sure. You had AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. That was a good match. That was AJ Styles' first WrestleMania. And I felt like it was like the beginning of like WWE like changing. I want to say attitude, but like changing on a whole nother level, because you had like AJ, and you had the Good Brothers come in. Then shortly after that WrestleMania, you had the draft. The Universal Championship was introduced, and Balor came on the main roster. Kevin Owens' reign began. So like I feel like it was the beginning of a shift in WWE that was much needed to me, because it was to the point where I was like watching wrestling every week. but I was kind of like slightly kind of bored, and I was like, it's the same thing. I don't know. But yeah, I do remember the main event being solid, nothing too special. I liked it still. It was Triple H versus Roman, but I just remember like the crowd kind of like I feel like the crowd made it a bit lackluster, a little bit too, because they kind of didn't care either. It seemed like, and then of course, 2016 it was very popular to not like Roman Reigns, but kind of like I said before, Roman Reigns has always been kind of a person I like, so I can't really say too much when it comes to that. But yeah, that's 5 wrestling facts about me. I hope you guys very much enjoyed that. It was kind of fun. I think I could definitely do that again. Maybe I might do personal facts next time. Kind of give you guys a glimpse into my lifestyle, how I live. But yeah, and again, thank you guys for always. And if you haven't subscribed to the Blurred Approved Entertainment YouTube channel, please do that. Check out all their good criteria, their podcasts, their shows, their video essays, as well as like this video, share with your friends, and maybe, put down some of your answers, even though they're kind of embarrassing, like I feel like mine were. But put them out. I want to know first memories, first wrestler you remember. And again, I might be butchering this whole thing, and I might come back like in a week or two later, be like, oh snap, no, it was this show or this wrestler. But I think for the most part, I got a pretty good solid grasp. So if I do find that I butchered it a lot, we'll just swing it back around. But yep, thank you guys so much for watching this. Y'all have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Godspeed.